Okay. Great. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev. Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. I was waiting to start the session. I was reading the extra information given for this song, which I would like to share this with you. It's ways, of course, the translation is also given over here, but the extra information says in Allahabad and Gorakhpur, Srila Prabhupada fell into trance after singing the first two lines. After some time, he came back into the external consciousness and said, now just chant Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said that this song is a picture of Vrindavana. Everything is there in the song. Srimati Radharani is there, Vrindavana is there, Govardhan is there, Yashoda is there, and all the cowherd boys is there. That's why it is very found that we sing this bhajan before the lectures. Thank you so much. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रतां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनः सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गोरतुषे नमः नमो ब्रह्मण्याय देवाय गो ब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चातदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपादमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधुं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् ॐ अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षा सा बाह्यभ्यन्तरं शुचि श्रीविष्णु 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 हेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहतवाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयाकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदां पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा श्रवणं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिश तत्रार्पिता नियमितस्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवं विदृशमयः जानिनानुरागः त्रिनादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानतेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि नदनं जनं सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरि जनं न जनं सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतद्भक्तिरहेतु गीत्वै ऐनन्दतनुजकिङ्करं वचनं वामि च मे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गरदश्रुधारय वदनं गद्गदरुधाय गिरा पुलके निचितं वपुकदा तव नाम ग्रहणेन भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्तु मां आदर्शनान् मर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव न पर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna. I thank each and every one of you for giving me kind your association on this auspicious day of Dwadasi. So, reading the first thing we are doing on Dwadasi morning is Srimad Bhagavatam. Earlier in one of the class, I heard that most even most auspicious on to read Bhagavatam and Ekadashi is on Dwadashi. The day when we fast. Sorry, we break the fast. If they break the fast, the consciousness of Krishna, by hearing about Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam, this is even more auspicious, especially on the chilly Sunday morning. It's so chilly outside, and it's very difficult to get up all those things. But in spite of all those things, you choose to come on Sunday. Thank you very much for this association. Without any delay, we'll start our Srimad Bhagavatam reading. So, in the last class, we have seen up to text number 46. But for the continuity's sake, the 46 we will start, we will read again, we'll see again about 46, because last class almost we kind of hurried kind of a thing it has happened because it's coming to the end of the is ending. So 46 to 60, 46 to around 55 slokas are much more important. Of course, after 55, it is Falastuti that's coming up. What is the result which you are going to get? But most of the thing, why that Falastuti is there in the text number 46 to 52. That we will see to it today. What is it? Text number 46. So this is about Matsya incarnation. We are talking about the Matsya incarnation when Parikshit Maharaj asks why the Lord takes the Matsya incarnation. And Sukadeva Goswami explains about the two incarnations, one during the Swayambhuva Manu and another during the Chatusha Manu. This is what happening in the Chatusha Manu era. Sri Rajam Anadi avidyopahittam samvedas tanmula samsara parishamratha yadrichya parastavayam apnuyor vimuktido na paramo gurur bhavan. So here the qualities of a guru are being explained. The king said, by the grace of the Lord, those who have lost their self-knowledge since time immemorial, and because of this ignorance are involved in a material conditioned life full of miseries, obtain the chance to meet the Lord's devotee. I accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a Supreme Spiritual. As we all know, Krishna is a Vande Krishnam Jagat Guru. He is a Supreme Spiritual Master. From him, the disciplic succession. That's what you can see. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Evam parampara praptam imam rajisya vidu. So that knowledge should be coming from the disciplic, guru disciple succession, from heart to heart knowledge. And the Supreme Guru is Krishna. So the source of the Guru Parampara must be Krishna. So it is said, those who have lost their self-knowledge since time immemorial. We do not know when we have lost this knowledge. Actually, Srila Prabhupada mentions that the soul is always Krishna consciousness. The soul is never not conscious about Krishna. But somehow or the other, we forgot that our relationship with Krishna. We do not know when it is. Some people ask, why did I fall into this material world? When did I fall into this material world? Of course, these questions are good. But this is not the time to ask such questions. When we have fallen in a ditch, will we ask for help or will we ask for why did I fall in the ditch? How did I fall in the ditch? And when did I fall in the ditch? First, you look up for the help. You extend your hands high up in the air and say, oh, please help me. Somebody who is outside the ditch, you extend your hands and take help. Similarly, we are in this Andakopa. Prahlad Maharaj explained this is Andakopa. And we have fallen into this ditch of darkness. Now, this is not a time to question when did I fall and how did I fall? What should I do to go out of this material world? But this time immemorial, it is happening. What is happening? Who, due to this ignorance, are involved in material condition? Life full of miseries. So we are in the ignorance. We are thinking we are this body. We lack the spiritual knowledge. We are thinking this material, I am this body and I'm everything. Somebody is on mute. Please. So, we are in this ignorance and we are involved in the material. The material thing, materialism and spiritualism. There are two different things. No, they are not two different things actually. It's in the consciousness. If we engage anything in the service of Krishna, that becomes spiritual. If you don't engage it, it becomes even material. Sometimes we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But if you are not reading as a service to Krishna, as a service to the humanity, to bring back to the holistic, that is also becomes a kind of a material things. It's an intellectual enjoyment, intellectual way of enjoying things. That's what. But if you are using anything for the service of Krishna, that becomes spiritual. It is in the consciousness. You see the Srila Prabhupada's small book, beautiful. There's a big, beautiful book. I think some of you have read it. Consciousness is the missing link. Whatever you do, we are missing the consciousness in it. So the word spirituality can be broken into two: the spiritual spirit and the ritual. There are rituals. Rituals means doing the same thing again and again. There's a scope of improvement. There is a certain way of doing it. There are rules and regulations of doing that. That's a ritual. And we add consciousness to that ritual, it becomes a spiritual. Today we see outside everywhere, especially in our this one we do follow Kartik Mas. We are doing. People light the lamps, do all the things. But what is the spirit behind it? We do not know anything. Because if we lack spirit in that, we are ignorant of our conditions. And we are fallen in this conditioned life. And this is full of miseries. That's what Devrata is explaining. They obtain the devotee's mercy by Lord's grace. It is a mutual thing. By Lord's grace, these people will get the mercy of the devotee. And by mercy of the devotee, they get the mercy of the Lord. Both are important. Lord and the devotees are equally important. To uplift this, and Hare Krishna Silvamani can unmute any unmute others. So he is saying, I accept the Supreme Lord as a, I am explaining the Supreme Lord as a Supreme Spiritual Master. So that is a Supreme Guru. Text number 47. In hopes of becoming happy in this material world, the foolish conditioned soul performs fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desires for happiness. May my Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desires from the core of my heart. So we are all trying to become happy because we are all eternally part and parcel of Krishna, and we are also Satchitananda, but in minute quantity, not like Krishna. Krishna is Vibhu, we are Anu. We have minute independence. If you if you go away from Krishna, we cannot enjoy it. But in the false hopes, this is in the hopes of becoming enjoying this material, we do so many things to be happy in this world. But are we happy? The foolish conditioned soul accepts different bodily forms as a result of fruitive activities. We are taking different bodies. Sometimes a human body, sometimes devata body, sometimes animalistic body, in the hope of getting enjoyment. I want to enjoy meat. I want to enjoy sleep. This is what our happiness lies in. Ultimately, this is the happiness which we are as a conditioned souls are looking into. But are they making us happy? When we talk about to the colleagues about happiness during casual times, I talk about the happiness thing. So we come across as a statement: we should enjoy, we should be happy. That is what we should be. So the statement you see that means you are not happy right now. You are always looking for happiness. That's why you are saying you should be. The real thing is I'm happy. I'm enjoying. That word should come. But we should be happy is the one which you constantly hear. That means you are currently not happy. We are continuously hankering for something, or we are continuously lamenting for something. We are not in the present. So that's what happens. The mind is only taking you to the future or to the past. You fear of the future and lamentation of the past, and you are not current. Bhakti makes us to stay in the, of course, future perspective goal is also there, and past corrective actions is taken care. But the Bhakti makes us to focus on the present right now, Today's actions are tomorrow's destiny. So what actions should I take today so that my future is good? But none of us are doing, none of the conditioned souls are doing the current activity. They say, I will see what is of happiness in the future. But ultimately, we are all suffering in this material world. But by the service to the Supreme Lord, one becomes free from such false desires. This false desire of happiness, we have to let go of that. It is called sense enjoyment, sense gratification. I am to enjoy. I am the one to enjoy. How do we go leave this sense enjoyment propensity? Only by the service of the Supreme Personality of Man. When you dress the deity, you are satisfied. When you bath the deity, you are satisfied. When you chant the holy names, you are the satisfied. Of course, Krishna is also happy. That is a goal we have to do. But in that goal, we are also happy. That is the goal. That is the check barometer for our spiritual progress. Without the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot be happy at any cost of life. It's impossible for us. May my supreme spiritual master cut the knot of the false desires from the core of the mind. So, what is the mood of it? What is the intention behind taking the initiation from a guru? Not to say that I have this guru, I have that guru, my guru is great, my guru conducts so many big pandal programs. It is not a criteria get the guru. The gurus we had to take guru so that these false enjoyment propensity, the false desires are cut by them. That is the intention why guru is there. I say, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That is the first thing we have to see. The ignorance, the darkness is removed by dispelled by the knowledge from the guru. That is what the mode which you have to take shelter of the guru. So guru destroys the material desires. Guru should not increase your material desires. That is not. So if you see outside, we go to colleges, education centers. What is the goal of that education? To become materially successful. Get good ranks, get good pay scale, you happy, or do sense enjoyment without limitation. That's what we are doing it. That's what the entire education system is lying about. No, that is not. Yes, that is required as a part of living in this material world, but that should not be the goal of any education. It's not the goal of the guru. Text number 48. One who wants to be free from the material entanglement should take to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and give up the contamination of ignorance involving pious and impious activities. Thus, one regains his original identity just as a block of gold or silver sheds all the dirt, becomes purified when treated with fire. May that inexhaustible Supreme Personality of Godhead become our spiritual master, for he is the original spiritual master of all other spiritual masters. The purpose. In the human form, in the human life, one is meant to undergo austerity to purify one's existence. Tapodivyam putraka yena sattvam suddhyet. Because of the contamination by the modes of the material nature, one continues in the cycle of birth and death. Karan jivana sangasya sad asat yoni janmasu. Therefore, the purpose of the human life is to purify oneself of this contamination so that one can regain his spiritual form and not to undergo this cycle of birth and death. The recommended process of decontamination is devotional service to the Lord. There are various processes for self realization, such as karma, jnana, and yoga, but none of them is equal to the process of devotional service. As gold and silver can be freed from all dirty contamination by being put into the fire, but not merely by being washed, the living entity can be awakened into his own identity by performing devotional service, etc., but not by karma, jnana, or yoga. Cultivation of the speculative knowledge or practice of the yogic gymnastics will not be helpful. The word Varnam refers to the luster of one's original identity. The original luster of the gold or silver is brilliant. Similarly, the original luster of the living entity, who is part of Satchidananda Vigraha, is the luster of the Ananda and pleasure. Anandamayo Vaishya. Every living entity has the right to become Anandamaya, joyful, because he is part of Satchidananda Vigraha. Krishna. Why should the living being be put into the tribulation? Because of the dirty contamination by the modes of the material nature. The living entity should be purified and regain his Swarupa, his original identity. This can do only by devotional service. Therefore, one should not adopt the instructions of the spiritual Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described as Guru, the spiritual master of all the spiritual masters. Even though we may not have the fortune to contact the Supreme Lord directly, personally, the Lord representative is as good as the Lord Himself. Because He is such a representative who does not see anything unless it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore gives a definition of the Guru. Yara deke tare kaha Krishna. This is the quality of a Guru. So anyone can be a Guru who preaches the Krishna conscious philosophy. The bona fide Guru is he who has accepted Krishna as a Guru. This is Guru Parampara system. The original Guru is Vyasadeva because he is the speaker of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein everything spoken relates to Krishna. Therefore, Guru Puja is known as Vyasa Puja. In the final analysis, the original Guru is Krishna, his disciple is Narada, whose disciple is Vyasa, and in the way we gradually come in touch with the Guru Parampara. One cannot become a guru if he does not know what the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna or his incarnation wants. The mission of the guru is the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. So in this purport, this entire Krishna conscious philosophy is mentioned in this purport. The sum and substance of this purport is service to the Lord alone can destroy the ignorance. There is no other way. So we say bhakti. So you know there's jnana, you have karma yoga, we have jnana yoga, and we have bhakti yoga. Of course, yoga means to link with the Krishna. So all kinds of yogas are important. The most important yoga is bhakti yoga, and Srila Prabhupada intelligently translates the bhakti as loving devotional service. No, there is a service, it's devotion. There is devotion. When devotion comes, it is the spirit with consciousness. What consciousness we are doing? The consciousness gives the divinity. Second is service. There should be practical seva, not learning and learning and learning and learning. It should be some kind of a seva or existence in the seva. Directly or indirectly, we have to do the service, and it should come be lovingly. It should not be a forceful thing. It should come from natural humility, not as a matter of just doing service. It's by love. That is bhakti. People think that lighting the lamps, doing archana, doing agarbatti is bhakti. They are rituals. Those are rituals. Yes, we have to do all those things. Highlighting the arti, lamp, etc. All those things are rituals. But what is the consciousness behind that? What is the spirit behind that? This we have to understand. This material world is not a place for all of us to stay. When we understand this helpless and hopeless situation in this material world, then we can take real shelter of our Guru and Spirit and Krishna. So in this translation, Prabhupada is mentioned that gold ore is purified when treated with fire. Similarly, by serving the Supreme Lord, one is purified of the contamination of the material existence of the gold. So the soul is compared to the gold. Just like the gold, especially women are most attracted to the gold. The gold attracts almost everyone. So this is a precious metal, and this precious metal, when it is in the form of ore, it is very dirty. So why it became dirty? The gold, the pure gold, has contaminated. It got contaminated by the contaminations of this earth. So when you dig, you get the gold ore. Similarly, the soul is eternally pure like a gold. It is uncontaminated. But somehow, when it falls in this material world, it is contaminated by the three modes of the material world: Rajoguna, Sattva and Tamoguna, and become a gold ore. So when you extract the gold ore, take the gold ore, you don't use the gold ore directly for the ornaments. It goes through a different processes. It should be purified. First, externally, it should be clean. Then, actual cleaning happens by putting it in the fire. It should be treated with the fire, beaten with a hammer. So when all this process happens, the gold becomes pure and removes the all contamination. Similarly, the soul, the three modes of material nature should be removed. by putting into the fire of service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the material contamination is regarded as earth. Then we can regain our original spiritual identity. May that inexhaustible Lord become our spiritual master. We have to pray to the Lord that I need such a guru who purifies my heart and engages me in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take me back to Godhead. So the purpose here says this, knowledge cannot destroy the ignorance as much as the service to the Supreme Lord does, that we have seen. Similarly, the conditioned soul is purified by the service of the Lord and not by karma, jnana, yoga. Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhilashita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. So jnana karma anavritam. So those are not required. Anyabhilashita sunyam. Abhilashita ashita means material desires. So anything which is related to material, I do not want that. Anything related to spiritual, I will take that. And that is called bhakti. That's what I explained here. So even though we may not have, we don't have a personal contact like Arjuna, we don't have any personal contact with the Supreme Lord, but the Lord's representative is as good as the Lord Himself. So we have to treat our spiritual master as good as the Lord because He is the one who is spreading the Krishna consciousness. From this, Srila Prabhupada moves on to text number 49 to explain another Lord's mercy. How does the Lord's mercy looks like? Neither all the demigods, nor the so-called gurus, nor all the other people, either independently or together, can offer mercy that equals even 1/10,000th of the yours. Therefore, I wish to take shelter of your lotus feet. Here, Satyavrata Muni, Satyavrata King, as is saying that the demigods, the so-called gurus, not the so-called the namesake gurus, other people, independent or together, they cannot offer a mercy which is equal, even 1/10,000th of the years. They are not comparable to the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, it is said that Kamesh Tayar Hruta Gnana Prapadyante Anya Devata. People in the general being motivated by material desires worship the demigods to get fruitive results very quickly. So you go to the demigods because I want material desires. When we think that one who gives material desires is the supreme. No, but what happens? After getting the material desire, you are the one who is going to suffer. So recently in the last appraisal cycle, I have seen a person who has prayed intensely for getting a promotion. I think he had prayed for so many devatas. Ultimately, he got the promotion. So when he was promoted to the next cadre, he was given certain subordinates to be reporting. But now he is facing the problem with the subordinates. He is not unable. He is unable to control the subordinates. He is not able to make them work. So he's continuously tortured by his senior management. Now is a promotion. Happy for him. And he initially when he got the order, he was happy. But what happened after that? He was suffering because of the subordinates. Same thing will happen. You'll get the material when you get the material. When we get the material benefit, we will be happy at that moment. But later it returns onto the misery. People generally do not come to that become devotees of the Lord Vishnu, since Lord Vishnu never becomes the order supplier of the. This was you see so many people they don't worship Vishnu much. They worship the Anni Devatas because they are looking for material benefits. What is the goal of a human life? If you ask anybody, I want to be happy, I want to be rich, I want to be that, I want to be this, but nobody says I want to become a devotee. When we think that when we understand we want to become a devotee, we will be guided to Vishnu. Lord Vishnu does not give a devotee benedictions. That will create further demand for benedictions. By Hari means one who removes us from the cycle of birth and death. Anything that promotes the cycle of birth and death, Vishnu is not going to give that. He purifies it. That's like you see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj. He purified him. Then later he has given the seed. So Vishnu is not going to give the benediction which causes us to move in the cycle of birth and death. He removes such benedictions. By worshipping the demigods, one may get results. But as described in the Bhagavad Gita, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam So whatever great benedictions one may achieve from the demigods are all temporary. They're all temporary. Whatever benedictions which you are getting, they're not going to last for so long. Because the demigods themselves are temporary. Their benedictions are also temporary and have no permanent value. It's very clear, but it's very clear whom we have to approach. Those who aspire for such benedictions have a poor fund of knowledge. The benedictions of the Lord Vishnu are different. By the mercy of the Lord Vishnu, one man can be completely freed from material contaminations and go back to Godhead. Therefore, the benedictions offered by demigods cannot compare to even 1/10,000 of the Lord's benediction. One should not, therefore, try to obtain benedictions from the demigod or false gurus. One should aspire only from the benedictions offered by the Supreme Personality of God, as stated in, as Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 1866. Sarvadharman paritejya mamekam saranam raja aham sarva papebhyo mokshayami masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. I shall deliver you from sinful reaction. Do not fear. This is the greatest way. So it is being said that Krishna is saying that whatever you desire. Sarvadharman paritejya here means whatever you desire, whether you want material desire, whether you want moksha, whether you want bhakti, whatever, you come to me. Aham sarva papebhyo mokshayami. So, sarva papebhyo here means the contaminations of the pious and impious activities. Both pious and impious activities are sins in this material world. The pious and activity means the jnana and karma, which is related to material things, are removed away by this, and I give you the bhakti. When I give you the bhakti, you will be sarva pakevi mokshami. So moksha means you will be in the service of me. So other people think that moksha means liberation into the Brahma Jyoti. That is the level of understanding of jnana and karma. The moksha of the devotee is to become the eternal servant of the Krishna, to be situated in the original form. Then the contaminations are removed and the papas are removed. So Sarvadharma means align all your activities in the service of Krishna. Since one cannot give up his ignorance except by service of the Lord, one should not serve gurus who do not teach service to the Lord. So you should not accept a person as a guru who is not teaching us how to serve Krishna. What is Guru doing? What is the Guru doing actually? In Guru Ashtakam we see, right? Sri Guru Vigraharadhana Nityanana. So he is doing the Vigraharadhana and making us to do the Vigraharadhana. He is engaging us in the service of Krishna. That Guru should be accepted. Vande Sri Guru Charanaravindo. That Guru we should accept. Text number 50. As a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader. People who do not know the goal of life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and fool. But we are interested in self-realization. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of God, as our spiritual master. For you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like sun. So if you have attended SSR sessions from Lilananda Prabhu, he says, just like a blind man follows a blind man. He gives a nice example, right? So if a blind man takes the help of the blind man, what will happen? Both will fall together, isn't it? So here the blindness represents the blind ignorance of the self-realization. So if you take shelter of a person who is not self-realized, he is not going to take us to this for self-realization. There are Mayavadis who says that God doesn't exist or God is a Maya. What are they doing? They are taking you as to the spiritual suicide. If you follow them, we are also doomed by that. Mayavadi Bhashisunile or a Sarvanash. So these are blind people. So all the conditioned people are blind people. We cannot go to end them for the self-realization, for learning bhakti. So bhakti can be learned in the parampara only. Ignorant people accept another ignorant man as their guru. You see, so many other so-called spiritual institutions and religious institutions. You see, so many people, so many followers. Right? So they are after only for Swargam Pratirastu or someone who gives the gold. So there are so many other fake gurus who say, "I take the gold from the in air and I give it to you," and they accept them as a guru. But Krishna is giving the who is giving the gold in this material world. So there is gold inside this our air. Who has kept it? Krishna. Krishna is keeping the gold. If we have to take a person who gives the gold, we have to accept Krishna as the supreme. Nobody else can beat Krishna there. But still, some people accept the ignorant person as their guru. Bhakti, but we desiring self-realization. What is our goal? If our goal is for self-realization or bhakti, accept Krishna and his representatives as the guru. The parampara system. And our present Diksha Gurus, our Shiksha Gurus, all the devotees around us, they are all representatives of Krishna because wherever Yara Deka, Kaho Krishna. So in the satsangs, whatever about we're discussing is Krishna Katha. So those devotees who are participating in the satsang are non-different from Krishna. So we have to take shelter of such advancing devotees. So that is our goal, provided we realize that bhakti as self-realization is what is important for all of us. The conditioned soul, being wrapped in ignorance and therefore not knowing the goal of life, accepts a guru who can juggle words and make some display of the magic that is wonderful to a fool. Sometimes a foolish person accepts someone as a guru because he can manufacture all a small quantity of gold by mystic yoga's power. Because such a disciple has a poor fund of knowledge, he cannot judge whether the manufacture the gold is the criteria for a guru. What is the criteria for who is manufacturing gold? Goldsmith is manufacturing gold. He cannot be a guru. Why should one not accept the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, from whom the unlimited numbers of the gold mines come into being? Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. All the gold mines are created by the energy of the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, why should one accept a magician who can manufacture only a small gold portion of the gold? Such gurus are accepted by those who are blind, not knowing the goal of life. Maharaj Satyavrata, however, knew the goal of life. He knew the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he accepted the Lord as a guru. Either the Supreme Lord or his representative can become Guru. The Lord says, Mameva ye prapadyanti mayam yatam tarantite. One can be content get relief from the clutches of the Maya as soon as he surrenders unto me. Therefore, it is the Guru's business to instruct his disciple to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he wants relief from the material clutches. This is the symptom of a Guru. This same principle was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yara deka tare kahe Krishna Upadesh. In the other words, one is advised not to accept a guru who does not follow the path of instruction given by the Lord Krishna. So here I would like to give an example, though this example might not be too appropriate, but you can find the essence. So in one of the movie there is a dialogue. నేను కృష్ణుడు కాబట్టి మాయలు చేస్తున్నాను. నేను కృష్ణుడు కాబట్టి మాయలు చేస్తున్నాను. కానీ మాయ చేస్తున్నాను కాబట్టి కృష్ణుడు కాదు. I am because I am Krishna, I am doing Maya. I am doing Maya. Some magic. Because I do magic, I cannot become Krishna. Krishna does magic, but a magician cannot be Krishna. That's what people think that one who is a good magician is a Krishna, is a guru, is a god. But no, that is not the qualification. So only God's duty or Guru's duty is to make us self-realized and take us back home to back to Godhead. Instruct us on how to serve the God. Text number 51. So in this text number 51, a materialistic so-called guru instructs his materialistic disciples about economic development and sense gratification. And because of such instructions, the foolish disciples continue in a materialistic existence of ignorance. But by your lordship, you give a knowledge that is eternal. And in the intelligent person receiving such knowledge is quickly situated in his original constitutional position. So here, the difference between the materialistic guru and the real guru is being explained. So what is the materialistic guru saying? He is guiding his disciples for material goals, especially dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So even not even moksha, artha and kama, you have to that like you see that what is called charvaka muni. Live live like a king size. So eat, sleep, and marry. This is a philosophy, right? So we are followers of those. People are followers of those such a philosophy. So it is the gurus gave guide the disciples for materialistic work. The so-called teachers outside, the professors, what are they saying? You have to enjoy. The only goal, especially today, is to make business. Am I earning more? Am I enjoying more? In this material pursuit, everyone is staying in the ignorance. But the real guru is eternal knowledge, which is bhakti, by which one can understand his constitutional position and go back to Godhead. Think, let us all meditate once, go back to our pre Krishna conscious days. When we are into when we are in the schools, colleges, what are we being taught? What are we taught? Go into IITs, go into the college, doctors, take professions, you will earn more. If you earn more, you will be happy. But by his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and his disciples and his grand disciples, we are into this bhakti movement. If they were not there, what would have been our situation? We would have been materially successful. That is what we can do, and we are going to take birth and again in this vicious cycle. Because of this, because of our parampara acharyas, Diksha Gurus, their sacrifices, we are sitting and talking about Krishna. And we are understanding this science of self-realization. What is my guru? What is my goal in life? Which we are not taught about in the schools. So-called gurus instruct their disciples for the sake of material profit. Some guru advises that one meditate in such a way that his intelligence will increase in regard to keeping his body fit for sense gratification. Another guru advises that sex is for the ultimate goal of life, and that one should therefore engage in sex to the best of his ability. These are the instructions of the foolish gurus. In other words, because of the instructions of the foolish guru, one remains perpetually in the material existence and suffer its tribulations. If one is intelligent enough to take instruction from the Supreme Personality of God as enunciated in Bhagavad Gita or Sankhya philosophy or Kapila Deva, one can very soon attain liberation and be situated in his original position of spiritual life. The word Nijam Padam are significant. The living entity being part and parcel of the spiritual personality of Godhead has the birthright to a position of Vaikuntha Loka or the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. Therefore, one should follow the instruction of the supreme personality of Godhead. Then, as cited in the Bhagavad Gita, Tektva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti So Arjuna. After giving up one's body, one will return home back to Godhead. The Lord lives in the spiritual world in his original identity, and the devotee who follows the instructions of the Lord approaches him, Mameti. As a spiritual person, such a devotee turns to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and plays and dances with him. This is the ultimate goal of life. So here, if you can see, you have to follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can I follow the Supreme instructions? I have to read them. Krishna is not there. Krishna is there in the form of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. We have to read it. How can I read and understand? By individual and I cannot understand. I have to serve. How can I serve? I have to come to satsangs. When I come to satsang, I learn about Krishna, I understand about Krishna, I do some services. That services make me go back to Godhead. That is what the instruction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instruction of spiritual master is non-different from the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even Siksha Gurus, Diksha Gurus, all those things. That's why our prime duty is to come to the satsangs and learn about the science of consciousness. And it says, most important thing is follow the instructions, not being physically present. Vapu and Vani, there are two things. Of course, Vapu is also good, but more important than Vapu is Vani. Vani makes us Vapu effective. Vani is most. Prahlad Maharaj says, Shravanam Kirtanam. Shravanam is Vani. Following the instructions. He did not say that you have to be near the supreme spiritual master. Yes, physical serving them is also a great benediction, but equally important is hearing the instructions of the spiritual master. His Holiness Radhanath Swami says, my association is through my instructions, and my instructions are there in my classes. When you hear our Guru's classes, we'll get instructions, and by that instructions, we are getting the instructions of the spiritual Supreme Lord, and we go back to God. My Lord, you are the supreme well-wishing friend of everyone, the dearmost friend, the controller, and the super soul, the supreme instructor, and the giver of the supreme knowledge and the fulfillment of all desires. But although you were within the heart, the foolish, because of the lusty desires, cannot understand you. So here, King Satyavrata was explaining about why do people don't surrender in spite of getting this knowledge. We don't surrender. Why? For everyone, you are the supreme well-wisher, dearmost friend and controller. I am the most supreme Aham. I am seated in your heart. I am guiding you. I am your eternal well-wisher. This is being spoken about in all the session. But in spite of that, we are not taking surrender because super soul, supreme teacher, giver of the knowledge and fulfillment of desire. But foolish people, due to the blind intelligence, cannot because of the lust. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna, samudbhava. Kama. Because of the desires, we are getting krodha and lobha. Because of that, we are all in a vicious cycle of material desires, and we are not understanding who is our real friend. We think that who gives me enjoyment is my friend, and who doesn't give me a friend, sorry, enjoyment, is not a friend. Prahlad Maharaj was not saying about the friend. He's saying about the eternal friend who is the super soul. He's sitting inside our heart, coming always. We lose our parents, we lose our friends, we lose our families. Supreme Personality of God in the Paramatma is never leaving us. He is always with us. He is our eternal servant. Sorry, it is eternal friend. Herein, the reason for foolishness is described. Because the conditioned soul in this material world is full of materialistic thirsty desires, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the Lord is situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrudeshe Arjuna Tishtati. It is because of this foolishness that one cannot take instructions from the Lord. All the Lord is ready to instruct everyone both externally and internally. The Lord says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Yamam Upayantite. In other words, Lord can give instructions on the devotional service by which one can return home back to Godhead. Unfortunately, however, people do not take to this devotional service. The Lord being situated in everyone's heart can give one complete instructions on going back to Godhead. But because of the lusty desires, one engages himself in the materialistic activities and does not render service to the Lord. Therefore, one is bereft of the value of the Lord's instruction. By mental speculation, one can understand that one is not the body but the spirit soul. But unless one engages in devotional service, the real purpose of the life is never fulfilled. The real purpose of the life is to go back home, back to Godhead, and live with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, play with Him, the Supreme Person, dance with the Supreme Personality, and eat with the Supreme God. These are the these are the different instructions of Ananda, spiritual happiness in the spiritual variegated rest. Even though one may come to the platform of Brahma Bhuta and understand his spiritual identity by speculative knowledge, one cannot enjoy spiritual life without understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is indicated here by Abhishta Siddhi. One can fulfill the ultimate goal of life by engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. Then the Lord will give one proper instructions on how to go back to God. That's what explained. Why do we don't take? Because of the lusty desires. We have to convert our desires into spiritual desires. Text number 53. So here from here, almost Falastuti starts. I will read only the translation. So please go through the purpose. And these are the beautiful purpose being explained. So, O Supreme Lord, for self-realization, I surrender unto you, who is are worshipped by the demigods and the supreme controller of everything. By your instructions, exposing my life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core. This is a sum and substance. I surrender. The goal is to surrender. Who is worshipped by? Even Devatas worship that. So don't take. We have to respect the demigod, but surrender should be to the supreme personality of Godhead. By your instructions, follow the instructions of of Krishna. By following the instructions of the spiritual master, what is instruction giving? He is exposing the life's purpose, which is going back to Godhead and serving Krishna. Kindly cut the knot. So cut all the knots of material desires and let me know the destination of my life. That is what We have to, how we to do? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya upadekshanidya jnanam jnanina by serving the Supreme Personal Spiritual Master. Text number 4. One minute, please. Okay. Text number 55. The Supreme Personality of Godhead thus explained to King Satyavrata the spiritual science known as Sankhya Yoga, the science by which one distinguishes between matter and spirits. In other words, Bhakti Yoga, along with the instructions contained in the Puranas, the old histories, and Samhitas, the Lord explained himself in all the three lectures. While sitting in the board, King Satyavrata, accompanied by the great saintly person, thus listened to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard to the self-realization. These instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature of Brahma. Thus, the king and the sages had no doubt about the absolute truth. So, in the earlier last class, we have seen Matsya Avataras, Krishna sends a boat. If you get into the boat, with all the rishis and follow the attach yourself to Krishna, my horn. I will take you back to Godhead, back in this from this ocean. We had thought that this ocean, this body, so this board is nothing but the sankirtana or the satsangs which we conduct, our devotee association. So we all the devotees come together into this board and stay in this Krishna consciousness and do and align our activities in line with the Krishna, then we are going to go back to Godhead. So here there is some small, my personal prayer to all of you, humble obeisance. In this boat of satsang, please please reserve a seat for me. Let me be part of your in this boat along with all of your great Vaishnavas sitting over here. Even if I start jumping out of this, jumping out of this boat, please tie me in this boat that I should not jump out of it. Pull me into this boat, make me sit in this boat, and tie me in this boat. That is the only prayer I can pray to all at the lotus feet of all of your Vaishnavas. Please pray for me for all. At the end of the last inundation during the period of Swayambhuva Manu, the Supreme Personality of God had killed the demon named Hayagriva and delivered all the Vedic treasures to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from the sleeping. King Satyavrata was illuminated with all the Vedic knowledge by the mercy of the Lord Vishnu, and in this period he has now taken birth as Vaivasvata Manu, the son of God, sun god. This story concerning the great Satyavrata and fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it delivered from the reaction. So when we hear from the authoritative sources, authoritative scriptures in the satsangs, we'll understand what is there inside that story. It is not that a fish is coming, taking us. That is not. That is the, of course, a story. It's not a story. It's happening. But what is the essence behind it? How do we understand it? Until unless we don't hear it attentively from a authoritative sources. One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation kings will certainly have all these ambitions fulfilled, and he will be undoubtedly returned home back to Godhead. We are hearing by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we are able to discuss these pastimes. By our acharyas, we are able to understand it. By our Shiksha Guru, His Grace Lilananda Prabhu, this entire Bhagavatam being discussed, though I don't have any qualification. Silpa Mata is beautifully organizing who is the speaker for the sessions, and you are all encouraging me to speak about something session because all of your prayers I'm taking the benefit of this. Thank you so much for all of your association. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literatures to the Lord Brahma when the Lord Brahma awakened from the sea, and who explained the essence of the Vedic literature to Satyavrata and all the gratitude. See the gratitude over here. Spirituality means gratitude to the all the parampara acharyas, all the devotees who are in our life. We have to be grateful for what we are receiving. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the 8th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Matsya, the fish incarnation. This commentation has been finished in our New Delhi Center today, the 1st of the September 1976, the day of Radhastami. By the grace of Supreme Personality Godhead and the Acharyas, Sri Narottama Dasa Thakura says, Tandera Charana Sevi Bhaktasana Swasa Janme Janme Hoya E Abhilasha. I am attempting to present Srimad Bhagavatam in English language by the order of my spiritual master, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta. This is our only qualification. We are doing this because our acharyas are saying us to do so. This is the way of progressing. And by his grace, the work of translation is gradually progressing, and the European and American devotees who have joined the Krishna conscious movement are helping me considerably. Thus, we have expectations of finishing the great task before my passing away. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. End of the 8th canto. So we have ended the 8th canto today. The next class, next session, whoever the speaker may be, will be starting the 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Please do not miss the Srimad Bhagavatam classes. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving me this opportunity to speak something about first. Please, I pray that you please pray for me that whatever I'm speaking, I should realize one day and apply it in my life. Though I'm trying to do I'm failing, and some areas I'm lacking it. Please pray that one day I understand what the guru is and how should I serve my guru. Please engage me in your service. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. The forum is open for your.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Wonderful class, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Satya Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Krishna.
I could not.
Namaskaram, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Dandatam, Prabhuji, all goes to Prabhupada Gurudev. Very, very grateful, Prabhuji, for your wonderful explanation. Sorry, I joined a little late. I was doing some deity worship today, so I got a little late. But thank you,
Thank you so
Prabhu,
much.
and it's a wonderful moment to see we are all together uh, this way or that way. Some part of it or fully have read Bhagavatam till 8th canto, and by the grace of all devotees, we are going to start the 9th canto from next week. So, fortunate are certainly those who have eagerness to hear this, who know what they're doing, and unfortunate are those in front of whom Bhagavatam is there, but they are not reading it or attending any classes. So our movement is to make unfortunate into fortunate. So I'm the most unfortunate. I think becoming fortunate. So thank you, bro. Wonderfully, you are the right person to finish the 8th canto. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
We are so fortunate that you have your association. Thank you so much for it.
Oh, no. Today morning, I just want to share, I got up and while I was preparing for the deities, I was thinking, I have so many complaints about so many people. I don't like this person. I don't like this person. I think about this person like that. Sometimes even for devotees, we start doing that. I don't like this devotee, or this devotee is not suitable for me, like that. Then I was thinking about our spiritual master who is adopting all of us, right? He's adopting all of us, irrespective of what we are. Then I was thinking, I just wrote actually a note in the group chat. You all were in the also. I just put forward my thoughts there that Krishna inspired thoughts that will anybody adopt a grown-up man? Nobody will adopt a grown-up man. Everybody wants to adopt a small child only. Why? Because the small child will at least know what his parents have done for him. Some gratitude he'll carry. But who will adopt a grown-up man who's carrying so many baggages, so many sins, so many lack of gratitude, whatever, right? So if a grown-up man is adopted, will he really love his parents? And if there is no love, then what is the point of adoption? In the same way, our spiritual masters, disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, on his behalf, are adopting all of us. Different gurus are adopting all of us. And if you don't have any sense of at least eagerness to know their sacrifices, why they are doing what they are doing, why to even take initiation, why to even show off of the entire whatever that we are doing, right? So how do we get that eagerness to know about our guru, to fall in love with our guru? Just like a child who's adopted has to love his parents, even though he knows he's adopted. It only happens when he knows what his parents have done for him, continuing to do for him. Same way, we also have to develop a connection with our guru, and it should not be superficial or occasional. Only once in a day, in a year, I become a disciple of my guru. Remaining all days, I don't even know who my guru is or who his disciples are, and I don't care. So how do I get that eagerness? Is by going to a Vyas Puja and begging for that eagerness from other devotees who have that eagerness. Right? That is why it is very important. But it's so unfortunate. Me and Balgwan Prabhu were discussing recently. Literally helplessly, we were talking to each other that what are we doing? We are teaching, people are coming and they want to take initiation from different gurus, doesn't matter which guru. But they have no eagerness to develop any connection with them. And they feel that is just part of life, it's not that very important. But looking at Srila Prabhupada, who set us such a beautiful example by telling the whole world, even after building 108 temples, he told, I have not done anything, it's my Guru Maharaj. And he celebrated his Guru Maharaj Vyas Puja wherever he was in the world, wherever, traveling, sick, all the years. He showed his disciples what is the importance of Vyas Puja. And his disciples are showing what is the importance of Vyas Puja to Srila Prabhupada on his appearance and disappearance days all around the world. But as we see, the disciples are now leaving the world. It's becoming such a worrying situation that many are not getting the same mood. Some are getting, but many are not getting the importance of Guru, the dependence on Guru. We only can beg, we only can pray to Krishna that please give that. Because if that connection is not there, we cannot go back to Krishna. You can't tell, I've done this much service, so take me back. You have done service, okay, you take another human body and develop surrender. But going back to Krishna, reading Bhagavatam, understanding Bhagavatam, it's such a rare thing, that only comes by mercy of Guru. Even though we have read Bhagavatam 10 times also, still if we don't have any attraction for our Guru and service to Guru, surrender to a person who is living, who is giving, so everything is superficial. But again, some benefit will get. Swalpam apesya dharmasya. So, it's such an amazing thing. We have come till 8th canto. Krishna has kept us alive. All of us are still breathing. And we have finished 8th canto. Such a nice juncture. And look at my fortune. I was busy with some TT worship thing and suddenly remember, hey, today is a class now. What am I doing? So immediately I logged in and you were reading the last verse of 8th canto. Hare Krishna. Boy, Krishna. Krishna, you're giving me a darshan of Prabhupada's, last purport. But I want to hear the whole class again recording. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Sorry, I hijacked some time of yours. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. Thank you for giving these classes. No matter how many people are attending, 1 person, 2 people, or even if attending and not listening, we are continuing this service. And whoever continues this service with the same determination and the mood of surrender is going back to Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. If there are any questions, any additions?
Krishna, thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you for your session.
Eighth canto is a big achievement in itself. Yeah.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Santosh Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your association and Puja Mataji association. Because of all of your association, this happened.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad.
So we'll end the session here.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
सिन्धुभ्यश्च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद।
Thank you, Santosh Aditya Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.